Jai Hind, this is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan. I welcome you to another session on Facebook. The topic today is China is drifting into an economic crisis. So, what effect it has on China? What effect it has on India? To India. Firstly, let us start off with certain facts and figures. China's debt is around $385 billion. It is given it to 42 countries who are not able to repay it. So China is facing a serious problem. 42 countries cannot repay loan which they have taken under One Belt, One Road initiative, or called as OBOR, or called as Belt and Road Initiative. Second issue is that China is running very low on energy. China depends heavily on energy that nearly 50% of China's factories have shut down. Uh, the energy supplies to homes has been shut down. Nearly half the states have shut down, etc. Then next issue is China is sitting on a time bomb called certain real saving it. Also, China is basically an export oriented company. Now there is a lot of contraction in the Chinese economy. Their factories are shutting down. Some factories Asian countries, etc. So therefore, China's dream of being the manufacturer of the world is coming to a near end, and everybody is trying to detach himself from China. Of course, China has got the world involved into what is called as economic chakravyuha. Everybody in the world, right from Europe to America, are heavily dependent on the Chinese product because Chinese produce it cheap. Now that they have decided to detach themselves from China, a deliberate effort is being made by the quadrilateral cooperation countries such as the USA, Japan, Australia, India, etc. Certain Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam are doing the same. Certain other countries like from South Africa, from the European countries are trying to do the same. So therefore, China is facing a lot of backlash on these issues. Also, India has taken a very firm stand. We require chip manufacturing in our country, and we are now cooperating with Taiwan to improve our chip manufacturing capabilities. So therefore, that is also hit China very badly because it was one of the biggest suppliers of chips. Also, China's 8 submarines will be manufactured in Australia. They will be nuclear propelled submarines. And there's a slump of nearly 50-60% in this, and 50 different indexes of economic growth are showing negative growth. As far as the world is concerned, world economy is today slowly recovering from the corona, and therefore there is everybody is wanting to start new things, but exactly opposite is happening in China. China's real estate giant Evergrande Group, which once symbolized the real estate boom in China, is now making a desperate attempt to repay the money of nearly 300 billions which they have taken from people. Its share has fallen to an 11 years low. It is facing very serious problem. It is said that 50% of houses in China in the real estate sector today are lying vacant. Guangzhou, where Evergrande is based, is facing a very serious problem. There are 250 Chinese cities which are selling homes to the middle class Chinese, but now because of economic crisis, wants nobody wants homes. Everybody is trying to sell homes. Power crisis is unprecedented. It has hit the manufacturing sector. The report says that complete eastern China is facing a very serious problem. A bulk of population is living with blackouts. At least 17 states have been hit. The world economy is reopening, but China's economy is shutting down. The Chinese regulators are not allowing power companies to manufacture more power simply because they do not have adequate coal. There are reports that a lot of people are very unhappy. Agitations are going on against the Chinese government. 20 out of the 30 provinces have stopped supplying electricity. Electricity rationing is taking place. The coal available for producing electricity is barely available for 2 weeks only. So for the first time ever, various economic indicators of the Chinese have gone down to a new low. And not only that, famous world economic bodies have said that Chinese GDP for the first time ever in the history is going to get into negative. That means Chinese economy, instead of increasing, is going to decrease. China, as a matter of policy, has stopped certain sectors. It has stopped many IPOs. It is anybody who was becoming successful has been stopped by the Chinese, be it education sector, be it online sector, be it e-tailing sector, etc. So the rich Chinese who once actually showed as to how dynamic the Chinese economy was are now wanting to leave the country. So therefore the problems in China have increased drastically. So how do we analyze it? The analysis is simple, straight and clear. Chinese economy was about 3 times the Indian economy. If Chinese economy reduces, it gives us an opportunity. In fact, there were reports that lot of startups are improving in India because the world capital ultimately has to find a place to go. Initially, earlier days, China was a very popular spot. Now, lot of capital from rest of the world, especially the European and the American subcontinents, is coming to India, and startups are doing very well. Not only that, in addition to this, Indian economy is increasing. The speed of Indian economy is increasing. Economic indicators point at very positive indications. For example, the number of jobs created has increased by 29%. The stock markets are at all-time high. The mutual fund industry is doing very well. The IPO market, initial public offering market, has improved. The government has started a scheme called monetization of government assets that had a good response, and lot of money is expected to be generated because of that. India's infrastructure is improving at a very fast speed. In fact, Shri Nitin Gadkari has almost carried out a revolution in our country, and one would have heard of 2 economic arteries which are which are going to be built up in a very fast time frame. I'll just mention one, of course, is a national highway from Mumbai to Delhi, passing through 5 states. It is moving at a very fast speed, and along the highway, lot of economic clusters are coming up. So therefore, economic activity is increasing at a very fast speed. Also, another highway from, let's say, Pune to Nagpur, etc., is also moving at a very fast speed. Northeast, where I've been spending last few weeks, the infrastructure, especially in terms of roads, rail, air, has improved drastically. So all in all, the moment roads improve, the economic progress starts much faster. Industries start springing up. Tourism starts improving. So actually, all indicators of Indian economy show that things are improving at a very, very fast speed. So that's a very, very good news. China's economy contracting and Indian economy moving at a much faster speed is a very good news. This will give us a time to catch up with the Chinese economy. We have a dream of a 5 trillion economy by 2025, and all indications are that this dream will be achieved, because today India is progressing almost on all the fronts. The ease of doing business in India has improved. Of course, it has to improve further. Of course, Indians have to work hard. Of course, the manufacturing sector in our country has to become as efficient as that of China. Of course, we have to ensure that we reach world-class production level in all industries. Today, we are world-class in automotive sector, we are world-class in software sector, but there are many other fields where we need to improve. So, while we have progressed quite a lot, China's contracting economy gives us an opportunity, but it is important that Indians in every field become as productive as that of Chinese people, or for that matter, even more productive than the Chinese. This is an opportunity of lifetime. I am sure our country will take it, and our economy's progress rate will cross that of China in a short while. I think I'll stop here. If you like the video, please like it and try and share it with as many people as possible. Jai Hind. The next topic, next week when we meet, I will talk about the infrastructure improvement which are taking place in the Northeast, and how we will be able to meet any Chinese challenge that may arise on the Indo-China border. We'll talk about that, because recently there was a report that the Chinese intruded at a place called Baramoti in Uttarakhand. So we need to be careful there. And also we will talk a bit about Naxalism. There was recently a conference at Chief Minister's level in which how to tackle the Naxalism problem was discussed greatly. But what is important is we have to implement what is discussed and ensure that our fight against Naxalism reaches a decisive stage. So I think I'll stop here now. Please like the video if you have liked it, and try and share it with as many people as possible. Jai Hind.